Hey people, welcome to ZX Crochet. So today this tutorial is about how to make this crochet round dress. It's really simple to create, and all you need is yarn and its recommended hook, and you're good to go. Plus it's open on the back. I'm gonna be showing you that. So this is me. This is how it looks like in the front actually. And then this is how it looks like at the back. You simply tie it at the back and you're good to go. So I already have a tutorial of how to make this bralette, and this is the top part of the dress, so you can go and check it out please. It's already on my YouTube channel. And then now I'm going to be showing you how to turn this bralette into a dress. So to do that, I'm going to be finishing it off with Seagull. It's a really tiny yarn, and as we go you're going to see that I'm going to be using 2 strands and not 1 strand, but first I'll be using 1 strand so for the whole thing. And then I'm going to be using a 3mm hook. First you're going to measure this part from, like, you attach your stitch marker, just make sure that it's straight, like from the back to the front it must be straight. Or you could grab your tape measure and just make sure that you mark off those ends. Like, I'm going to show you how to do that. You simply need to come over here and then you can see it's 5 inches apart. So I'm going to be attaching my yarn and I'm going to make a chain that's worth 5 inches or less. Just want to make sure that it attaches to the other part. So attach your yarn, and after make a chain, make sure your yarn is real tight, because remember we're going to be working in the round, so we need this chain to attach around the bralette. So this is what we have, and after that you're going to come to make sure that it's the right side is facing you, and then come to this side, take off your stitch marker and attach it there. After doing that, you can make a chain. Just make sure that it's put in place tightly. After that, you're going to make a chain and just cut off your yarn and then pull up the loop. So now we have something like this. This prepares us to working round easily, I should say. So this is what we have now. So just identify anywhere you want your line to be or your seam line to be, and insert your attach your yarn right there. So for this part I'm first going to use 1 yarn, like 1 strand, sorry, not 1 yarn. So make, like, attach your yarn onto the bralette. And after attaching your yarn onto the bralette, you're going to make a chain of 1, and then after you're going to begin half double crocheting. And now we are going to half double crochet all around our work, not leaving out any stitch. Yeah, it's really that simple. So continue to half double crochet. Like you can see there's no any like identified stitch, so just make sure that you don't place too many half double crochets into one space, and don't place too few half double crochets into space I should say. So just continue to half double crochet all around. And not forgetting, we are also going to half double crochet on our chain. Remember the chain we placed onto the bralette, so you're going to be half double crocheting onto that too. So coming to the end of round 1, I should say, after half double crocheting into each and every stitch, we are going to slip stitch our work together. Slip stitch your work. After that, chain 1, turn your work, and then I'm going to continue to half double crochet again into each and every stitch all around, and I'm going to be doing this for. So you're going to continue to half double crochet all around for the next 5 rows. Yep, 4 rows I should say, because you should be having 6 rows of half double crochet. So make sure that you have 6 rows. So this is my 6th row of half double crochet. I'm going to chain 1 and then just cut off my yarn. So these are my 6 rows of half double crochet. Don't mind about the fringing, because after all we want our dress to be in round. So now the next thing we are going to do is you're going to just identify where you want your seam to be once again, and then you're going to attach your yarn. Now you can see I'm using double strands or 2 strands. So I'm going to attach my yarn in place, and after attaching your yarn you're going to make a chain 1 and 2, and after that I'm going to double crochet into that stitch. And now you're going to double crochet up to the 11th stitch, because you're going to be increasing into the 11th stitch. So double crochet and make sure that you place two stitches, 2 double crochets into the 11th stitch, and we are going to be repeating this all around. So continue to place your double crochets, and do not forget that let's count this as row 1, because it's the real deal now. So for this row 1 you're going to increase into the 11th stitch, and the increase is done by adding 2 double crochets into the 11th stitch, then insert 1 double crochet into the next 10, and then place 2 into the 11th stitch, and we're going to be doing that all around up to the end of this round. So the best thing to do is for you to place your stitch marker into the 11th stitch, or into each and every stitch you're going to be increasing into, so that you do not finish the whole work when you have counted like a million times. So this was my 11th stitch, placing 2 double crochets, and then after again count up to 11, and I'm gonna do that all around. As I told you, let's first finish this. We are coming to the end of round 1. I increased over here. That was my increase. Then I counted. After counting 10, this is my 11th, so I'm gonna be inserting 2 double crochets, because remember this is my increase. And of course, now this for row 1 I increase into the 11th. For row 2 no increase, and I'm gonna be showing you. So place your last double crochet into that space, and then after, remember we don't put anything into that space because you already inserted a stitch, the beginning stitch. So go into the third stitch and chain your work with a slip stitch. For row 2, chain 2, turn your work, and after turning your work, place the first one into that very first same stitch. And you can place your stitch marker so that you do not get confused. And after that, I'm going to be double crocheting all around with no increase, no decrease. So simply double crochet all around your work. And after that, I'm coming to the end of row 2. As you can see, there is another stitch over there. Place your double crochet, and then after that take off your stitch marker, and now I'm going to slip stitch into that stitch. So row 2 is done. For row 3, chain 2, turn your work, and remember we increased into the 11th on the first row. Now we are going to repeat row 1, but this time we are increasing into the 13th stitch. So as always, place your stitch marker so that you do not forget where you're supposed to slip stitch into, and after that I'm going to count. It's better if you count to the 13th stitch and place your stitch marker. So we are going to be repeating row 1 in row 2, and that is for row 1 we increase into the 11th, row 2 no increase, row 3 we increase into the 13th, row 4 no increase, row 5 we increase into the 15th, but it can actually rhyme, and row 6 no increase, row 7 increase into the 17th, row 8 no increase, row 9 increase into the 19th. So it's gonna, oh my god, so it's gonna go around like that. You're going to continue increasing into the odd numbers and not the even numbers, and we are increasing into the odd row and not the even row. So count 13, place your stitch marker and continue to do that. Plus I just want to remind you, where we placed our stitch marker, you're going to be placing 2 double crochets, and it's gonna go like that until you come up with 35. Okay, my dress I made up to 35 rows, but if you want yours to be more, please feel free to add on more rows. So we are coming to the end of row 3, and as I told you, we are not supposed to insert anything there because there is a stitch already. So take off your stitch marker and go on top of that stitch, or it could be the 3rd stitch actually, and then slip stitch. So row 4 no increase, as I already told you, chain 2, turn your work, row 4 no increase, row 5 increase into the 15th, and row 6 no increase, row 7 increase into the 16th. If there is anything you do not understand, please feel free to drop it in the comment section down below. I'll be so glad to get back to you. Yeah, and now I'm showing you where you're supposed just follow this pattern. And also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, and you could like this video if it's helpful, and if it's not, give it a thumbs down please, so that, and also tell me where it's wrong. So I came up with this, and these are 35 rows as we speak. You could count. That was our first. I tried to count them, but they are 13. Oh my god, they have 35 rows. They are 35 rows. I ended on an increased row, but feel free to end on an increased row. It's really up to you. So this is what you have. I'm going to be measuring, and then you'll be knowing how many inches this dress measures, I mean the lower part. And also I'm going to be dropping a link to the tutorial of the upper part. Feel free to check it out, but you can make your own design on the top and then just use this tutorial to make the lower part. That's also completely fine. So this is the dress. When you turn it around, it has, as you can see on top, there is no fold, like I already weaved in the ends. They are at the back, inside the dress I should say. So just tie them and cut them off, and if they are too long you could weave them in and then cut off the excess yarn. So it's really as simple as that. Thank you for watching, and happy crocheting, and also do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.